What is up, Midway Mayhem fans? This is Dan, and we're checking back in from Busch Gardens, Tampa, and today is a special day because we are doing a hard hat construction tour of their new roller coaster, Tigris. Of course, there's a lot to see and do. Let's go!
Enjoy the journey. Okay, we're ready. Oh, okay, so you're with my
Putting in that last piece, right? Standing down here like we thought we saw tears in his eyes. So behind me is Tigris, right? Tigris is our latest addition to our ride portfolio right now. It is Florida's tallest launch coaster. So when we call it a launch coaster, it's a coaster that's going to launch you forwards, and then you're going to free fall backwards, launch you backwards, and then back forward again. So, and the coolest part of this ride, and Andrew will tell you more about that in a couple minutes, but the coolest part of the ride is right up there at the top. It's something we call the Heartline Roll, right in time for Valentine's Day, right? The Heartline Roll at the top of the ride that will take you over nice and slow, and that's just going to be part of a great experience with this ride. So, Tigris is it is our latest addition to the park, but it's part of our overall 2019 celebration that we're having here at Busch Gardens. So we've just turned 60 years old. The park turns 60. Our official sort of kickoff of that will be on March 1st. But we've really wanted to make 2019 the year of something to do and something exciting and new each and every week. So right now, for example, we're right in the middle of our Real Music, Real Masters series that's going on. From that, we'll go right into that March 1st birthday celebration with Florida Orchestra here, all kinds of fireworks and other celebrations. And then from there, of course, the one that a lot of people look forward to, it's our 5th annual Food and Wine Festival. That'll start on March 16th, and that's going to feature all kinds of great music and, of course, food and wine that people really enjoy. And then, of course, the big news that we had talked about a while back for 2019, we kind of went back to our roots, and this year, 2019, is the year of free beer. And so it's every day you come to the park, you can get a couple of beer samples, kind of like back in the original days of Busch Gardens. So really, it becomes a great time, and it's the best time ever, best year ever, quite frankly, to become a past member to Busch Gardens. Something exciting, coming up. And of course, right behind me, the most exciting, the reason you guys are here today is to take a look at the latest construction. And that'll actually be something special for our past members too. So we anticipate past members will get special ride time, those sort of things. So it becomes a real great reason to become members. So we've tried to keep parts of that older area, kind of a tribute back to that, alive, and so you'll actually go through what used to be part of the trough, and that'll be the ride queue line. So the ride will queue on the far side, you'll experience the ride, and then as you exit back through, a really neat part of the ride, and part of the key to our brand, obviously, is always connecting with animals, and this one we wanted to connect with tigers, and so as you exit, you go into the tiger gift shop, and there'll actually be a portion of those proceeds will go back and benefit tiger conservation out in the wild. So as you're going through the queue line and in this area of the ride, you'll actually come across some great messaging that's gonna, we like to be able to have families not only come in and enjoy the park and have a great experience, but we'd like people to leave kind of with that little bit of a message that they can take home with them. So this one, for this particular attraction, you're gonna take that message about tigers.
Can you talk a little bit about how this is going to add to the ride portfolio here at Busch Gardens?
Sure. This, this will be a unique ride for us and for our riders, in that it features forwards and backwards launches. So, we wanted, we always look at our guests and we say, okay, what do we have for, newer riders, right? What do we have for, really not just riders, but every kind of guest. So, when it came to coasters, though, we said we've got things like Cobra's Curse, a more of a family ride. This one, we wanted to get back to the thrill seekers, and so we actually have 2 years in a row of pretty big thrill messaging, and so this is year one. This is 2019. with Tigris, and then in 2020, and we'll talk more about that on March 1st when we celebrate our 60th, but we'll be talking about our 2020 attraction. Will also be a big addition to the park.
Can you tell us where we stand on the timeline currently?
Timeline, we're going to open it in spring. I know that sounds like kind of an open-ended answer, right? Spring, but right now, this ride is for us. It's a great sort of construction experience. We're on time, we're on schedule. It'll open, right around the corner. More, there'll be more over the next, probably month or so where we can nail down the exact date. So.
So Tigris is Florida's tallest launch coaster. It's 150 feet tall. It has triple launch to it, so it launches you forward, backward, and forward again through the station. So that takes you 25 miles per hour out of the station, about 50 miles per hour in the reverse direction, and then 62 miles per hour, and that takes you all the way up through the circuit of the ride. There's a really dramatic heartline roll at the top, and a non-inverting loop in the middle of the ride, then it brings you back into the stand. Yeah, so the white fins behind us are the propulsion mechanism for the ride. So that is an LSM system. Basically what that means is it's like a magnetic launch system. So the ride system will tell it how much speed it needs to put into the ride, and so it launches you forward and backward, and it can adjust that higher or lower as needed throughout the ride process.
And how many riders are how many seats are there in the train?
There is 18 seats in the train.
What are you looking like for theoretical hourly capacity?
I don't have actually what we're going to be getting through there yet. It's somewhere in the 400 to 500 range.
So you've got the launch forward and the launch backwards and the hair, what is it, the hair?
Heartline roll, yeah.
Are there any other things that you'd like to point out about the experience?
It's a really fun ride. It's going to be really thrilling, and it fits well into our portfolio of attractions here at the park. I mean, we just finished with Cobra's Curse, which was more of a family attraction, and this is more of a thrill attraction. So it's 150 feet tall, way up in the air, a dramatic heartline roll. I mean, you can't beat that. It's going to be really fun.
Obviously, there's a lot of design challenges when you're taking on a project like this. What's something that you've had as a challenge and how you've overcome it?
I'd say the biggest challenge of this attraction was just the site constraints. It's a small site, so we've had to work around a lot of obstacles here to try and keep the landscape that we wanted to keep and fit it into this small footprint. So luckily, it's a fairly compact launch coaster, and so it fit well into it, but just the construction of it and its tiny footprint was challenging.
Do you have any idea about what the height requirement is going to be?
Height requirement for this ride is 54 inches.
can you explain a little bit about the conservation elements behind this ride, both with the construction and what will be in the final product?
Yeah, so I mean, speaking to recycling a little bit, so throughout the whole ride process, we've recycled a lot of elements. So the old attraction had a lot of steel, a lot of wood, and we recycled all of that. So all that was demoed and recycled. We actually recycled the dirt that we're standing on right now, because if anyone recalls, this was a water ride. So we had to fill in the water ride, and we took that dirt from old attractions that we had stored in other locations and brought that into the job site to fill up this trough here. So other than the recycling aspect, we've got a lot of conservation messaging throughout this attraction. So we're talking about tigers. Obviously, Tigris is the name of the attraction. So we talk about the flight of tigers in the wild, basically, throughout the attraction. So we'll have a lot of signage going through the queue. We'll have conservation messaging throughout, and a portion of our proceeds that we get from the gift shop will actually go to our conservation fund.
You guys have a couple of rides like this in other parks. Is this one going to be different at all from those, or?
It's not different. The ride style's not different. I mean, we've themed it differently, but the ride itself is going to be very similar to the ride.
Safety.
Would have, but I was like, after I went on with each client once, I'm like, that's it, I'm done. If you want to go in again.
Well, every now and then, not all the pieces line up and fit together, and this is a case in point right here, as they're doing a little bit of work. Eventually, they're going to get it fixed and installed. Well guys, that is going to do it for our video here from Busch Gardens, Tampa, and I am very happy to say that Tigris' track layout is complete. And thanks to Busch Gardens, we had a chance to do a really neat hard hat construction tour where we got up close and personal with the ride. Again, timeline is looking really good. Should have a train on the track pretty soon, and hopefully testing is going to start next month. Of course, we're going to have more updates from here, so if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Midway Mayhem, and I will see you out on the Midway.